Dream, believe, achieve. You go, gal. Hello to all my fellow architects and friends. Wishing a very happy Women's Day 2021. My warm greetings to the IIA Chapter Karnataka on this wonderful initiative. My greetings and salutes to all the women and women architects, professionals and students. The act motto of IIA Chapter Karnataka for Dream, Believe, Achieve sums up the journey a woman architect envisages to make a place for herself in the society. Teaching and creativity were two sides of my passion all along, and I never wanted to compromise in any manner to keep up both, which was my dream too. Architectural profession gave an excellent platform to follow my passion and achieve it. We need to lead by example. There are those young guys peering at you to develop their own lives and professions. At this juncture, it feels good to have undertaken those challenges and accomplished also. Gives a proud feeling as a founder director of BMS College of Architecture to have contributed to the society and to the profession in whatever small way possible. And frankly speaking, to be associated with young creative minds filled with aspirations and dreams in their eyes has always made my career wonderful. It kept my journey filled with energy and joy as well. I cherish association with my students forever and thank them for this priceless joy that they have brought in this journey of mine. Over the last 30 years of my teaching tenure, which has been a memorable, worthwhile and a wonderful journey, I have seen my dear students, including many girl students who are now accomplished architects, highly noted and successful in the society, with extremely good practice, making great and responsible architecture, and that is something greatest reward or earnings from my profession as a teacher of architecture. She believed, she could, and so she did.
So how did architecture happen to me? Right from school, I was quite interested in geometry and also physics, certain topics in physics, especially resolution of forces, vectors, not exactly electrical and electronics. And I was also interested in the arts, and that's thanks to my mother, because she was quite a creative person. Although she came from a traditional background, her tastes were quite contemporary and minimalistic, and she understood the local arts and crafts, and passed it on to me, the appreciation for all that. And I had to therefore, when I graduated from school, do something which married both my interests, and B.Arch seemed to be the right balance at that point. And as I studied in a town in coastal Karnataka, and the adverse weather in that town sort of made me understand how the local buildings there were built, and that sort of shaped my approach, that a building had to function well. As good as it may look, it should also function well, and that has been my lifelong approach right now. And women in architecture, I would think that they should have nothing to complain about, really.
As a woman in the field of sustainable architecture and bamboo building, my daily experience of work have included the realities of a gender bias and even a sustainability bias. Working women are continuously asked to make a choice between their home and their work, and it was no different for me. As I navigated the dual journey of setting up and nurturing a firm as well as a family. There was a constant juggling of work and my personal time. Moreover, I was running my practice by myself and not as many might expect as a second in charge to a husband or a brother or a friend. If the gender bias was a challenge that I have faced every day, then the preconceived notions regarding sustainability have been another hurdle. Quite often, the simple ways of life that is presented by sustainability is mistaken for a lack of sophistication. We women are the capable writers of our own stories. We face twice as many challenges in our journeys, and this makes our victories much bigger. In the road ahead, I hope to be joined by more women, and as we hold our heads high and do what we love. And as they say, for me, which I think about my journey, is that she believed she could, and so she did. May on this Women's Day, all the women around the world, I congratulate all of them and I also appreciate all their efforts that they are doing towards this whole world to make this world a much better place to live. Happy Women's Day. Thank you so much.
Well, it's been a wonderful journey being an architect, and when Nandita approached me asking about my experiences as a woman architect, I was quite surprised because we never call men architects as men architects. We always refer to them as architects, and which is what I pointed out to her, and she said, of course. So my journey in architecture started very early because I've always been a creative person, but there were challenges because I'm also a dancer and I was looking to take dance as a profession. A very happy Women's Day to all of you, and Nandita, thank you so much for bringing this to me and for me being able to speak a small part of my experience. Thank you.
I'm a principal architect and urban designer at SDEG, and thank you all for giving me this opportunity to talk on Women's Day. It is very special. To talk of my own personal life, personal journey as an architect, I've been fortunate and it's been positive so far, only because of the immense support I've had from my family and my husband Sujit. It gave me enough time to figure out what I was good at, or what I really liked, or where my heart really lied, and I'm really thankful for that. But personally, I feel today is a good time and place, especially for women architects. I see times have changed. People are much more appreciative of what a woman can bring onto the table, especially in our profession. And it's a proud moment for me, because if somebody has thought that I was capable enough to hold such a high position or a responsible position, I'm thrilled, and I hope and I wish and I encourage more women to join this profession and live their dreams, and more girl power. On that note, happy Women's Day. Thank you very much.
Let me take this opportunity in wishing all the beautiful women a happy Women's Day, and to all the handsome men to enjoy with the beautiful women. Where there is women, there is magic. Let me start my journey with my favorite saying by Rose Starlaw. It goes like this: when you're building a room, you're building character, and character is the strength and wisdom of a home. The above saying explains my practice for 30 years, which is distinctive design rooted in tradition. Architecture is a multifaceted endeavor that fits many personality types. For me, thinking outside the box is an essential part of what and how I operate, and architecture is a good fit. I wanted to stay away from the simplistic notions like women are better at interior design and kitchen design, or that women care more about program, so they are better at planning. I decided I would make this a personal perspective about why architecture suits me as a woman and human being. 1. Working without the pressure of success. 2. Knowing your career might pick up even after you're 60. 3. Seeing your ideas live on in the work of others. 4. Having the opportunity to choose between career and motherhood. 5. Being included in revised versions of art history. 6. Lately, I have started associating architecture with travel, feeling as if they are synonymous with each other. Architecture is something that we are surrounded by at all times, consciously, subconsciously, and unconsciously. Traveling opens doors to timeless architecture. There are many ways to measure success. I do feel valued and appreciated by my colleagues and clients, and immensely proud of work we do. There is unquantifiable satisfaction in working through a building you designed and built. It is like a beautiful puzzle you solved and everything fits. Before I conclude, here's a message to young architects. Listen to the needs of your clients and your team. Be ambitious and tenacious. Look for great support at home and inspire a good team at work, while recognizing every day how lucky we are to be involved in such a fascinating and effective profession. I'm proud to say I'm a homemaker, make my own home and make others' homes too. All this was possible because I hear at my back from my family and friends saying she believed she could, and so she did.
I'm an architect by choice. My parents are economists. There were many lawyers in my family, so I heard about demand, supply, civil rights, justice, equality, inflation, and so on. None of which interested me. I drew landscapes, I made clay lamps on potter's wheels, I sketched old buildings of my childhood city, and dreamed of making new ones. My parents asked me, what does an architect do? And I determined to find out. My most memorable moments in the journey are when first my drawings came to life as a small residence, way back in 1988. It is still joyfully occupied by the family it was designed for. Second, when I was invited to embark on a teaching career by my mentor, Professor Balaji, who came to my humble residence with an invitation to teach. And then when architects remember me as a person who influenced them at some point of their student life. It's fulfilling. I'm amazed to see the way women have made a mark in the profession of architecture, which is still having a large proportion of male presence. I think it's no longer about being a woman architect, but being a professional among professionals. A very happy Women's Day to all.
Thank you, IIA, for taking this initiative of celebrating International Women's Day. I'm architect Bharti Prem Kumar, wishing you all a very happy Women's Day. Architecture is the most challenging and demanding profession. Believe me, it's much tougher as a woman architect. In my 2 decades of practice, I would be the only single woman in a room with a bunch of decision makers. Initially, it was much hard to get through them, as most of them came with the mindset of, what can a woman do? Why should I believe in a woman? Why should I take turns from a woman? But with much perseverance and never give up attitude, I could transform this to, yes, madam can deliver. Thus recognizing the value I had it. For me, this was something extraordinary, satisfying and positive, as we all need some encouraging support to further strengthen our belief. I thank my parents, family and my clients for believing in me and supporting me. I believe I could, I did.
When my final year exam results weren't announced yet, my marriage happened. And it happened with an already established architect. So I didn't even think a single thought. I just joined his office for my further professional journey. But in due course, I felt disturbances in the professional practice. Like clients always wanted a second opinion, either in office or on site. I felt my opinions weren't heard and weren't valued.
I think it was a male-driven society
Yes.
then. Yeah, and it also changed. Also, I feel there is a lot of balance of me, even in my workspace or on site. There is a lot of boys, or I can say me being a female architect makes a lot of difference.
The Department of Architecture at JSS Polytechnic for the differently abled Mysore. Teaching architecture for the deaf students is a new experience and challenging every day. Sign language is the mode of communication between teachers and students, and also teaching here. I am happy that I got this opportunity to teach the specially abled students, and I feel I am blessed. She believed she could, and so she did.
I think I'd like to share an experience from working on a spice tourism project in Kurangani, which is in Tamil Nadu. It was a project that we were doing as consultants for UNDP, and UNDP was collaborating with the Government of India. Government of India, under its rural tourism scheme, had identified craft-based villages across the country, and then later it was expanded also to spice tourism, to other kinds of domestic tourism across the country. And as part of this project, I remember Kurangani was situated in, of course it was a very, very scenic location, but I remember reaching the place and the government officer saying that, we have 3 sites that you're supposed to see, and one of the sites is on top of the hill, and we're going to take you there by car, but there's one site which is in the middle, but you need not see that because car doesn't go there and there is no road there. And I said, no, but I need to go there because I can't do this without seeing the site. And they said, yeah, but it's only way to go there is to walk, and it's a 7-kilometer trek. And I remember insisting that I would do the site visit. So one of the government officers came along with me. I think he was an assistant engineer in the department, and we trekked up 7 kilometers and then trekked back 7 kilometers to do the site visit. And it was something that I never forgot. It was a really worthwhile trek because it was a spectacular site. But it was tough. It was tough to do this as a woman.
From dreaming to becoming an architect to actually being one, it's been quite a journey. When I completed my studies and actually became part of the fraternity, all the challenges and surprises that came my way were quite something. I think the sense of discipline, the ability to multitask, and time management, and the opportunity to be on a continuous creative journey has been the best part of, being part of this fraternity. I've had the opportunity to be part of some really satisfying projects over the earlier years of my career. And today I am an assistant professor with Nittay School of Architecture, Planning and Design. And that gives me the opportunity to be part of the dreams of young aspiring architects who will soon be, my contemporaries. For me, it's always been about the details, as they say. When I walk past a project that I've worked on, more than the bigger picture, it's that little tiny thing that I would have done to a space that gives me the immense sense of satisfaction and motivation, to go ahead. Or when a client walks past the room and notices that tiny detail that you've added to the window and they, appreciate it. I think that's where all the energy comes from. And there are days where the requirements look quite unrealistic and the deadlines look impossible. And you have to sort of give up on that tiny break that you wanted with your family. But then she believed she could, so she did.
Architecture is the mother of all arts. I'm proud to be an architect, and it's been more than 3 decades into this wonderful profession, 25 years into practice, and
over 2 decades into teaching. Being a multitasking professional, mother, wife, and daughter-in-law has never been easy. Dedication, hard work, passion, and perseverance is what keeps me going and has made me more strong and confident. In my opinion, every successful woman architect is forced to think outside her boundaries. Just to share with you, both my kids virtually grew up in the office, and I used to put them to sleep while I worked in a stroller, and these were the struggling years where we couldn't afford any help. One day I was busy drafting and one of my junior architects just shouted, "Ma'am, she's walking." Sometimes site visits used to be carrying my kids, and I used to be fully equipped with everything of their needs till evening. I have always made it a point to attend most of the architectural seminars, but with my kids after making them do their homework. It's never been easy, but I take this opportunity to thank my husband, architect Sanjay Adlakha, for his support for what I am today. Proud that I have another woman architect in making, my daughter. She's graduating from CEPT University this year. Thank you IIA Karnataka chapter for making us, the women architects of Karnataka, feel valuable and special. She believed she could, and so she did.
Being a woman architect and running my own practice has been quite a journey in building self-confidence and lessons of how to push my way through, and most importantly, making my voice really heard. It feels good to be taken seriously. It feels good to be seen as a woman who doesn't mind getting her hands dirty or getting things done under the sun and on the field. This happened, one of the incidents was with a contractor who wasn't very comfortable having discussions with women or even taking instructions from me. Maybe he had never encountered a woman in his profession in the construction field. But once the project was done, he was really proud of what had come about and something he had never done before. So it did feel nice to see him take pictures of the project and talk about it. So this is very interesting to have conversations with masons, with carpenters, with fabricators and everybody on ground. It definitely does change perspectives for them and for us. So she believed she could, and so she did.
The founding partner at Between Lines Bangalore. Today I'd like to wish all you beautiful women a very happy Women's Day. I actually think our profession, that's architecture and design, is one of the most gender neutral professions that is there. Having said that, there are of course challenges of being a women architect, because this profession, which is an all-consuming one, ends up adding to the massive mental load that women tend to have, managing home and work. And the trade-off is that they sleep less and they have less time to do other fun stuff. And I think this should change. And the change should start with us. I think we need to actively speak about the situation and build a support network between our family, friends, and most importantly, our partner. And without that, I could not have reached where I am. I'm thankful to them, and I wish that all aspiring women have access to that. And I do wish that soon enough we don't celebrate women architects on Women's Day only, and rather celebrate them as professionals throughout the year.
And I'm proud to say that I'm an entrepreneur and a principal architect at my firm, Vivo Space Architects. Architecture is my passion. Architecture is a language in a way. The architect can communicate with one's emotion through the built spaces and form. Women are generally programmed to use emotional information in an effective and meaningful way. I was always intrigued by the effect that built spaces have on its users. The capability of a space to influence a person's feelings, emotion, passion and efficiency has been a key interest and focus in my design thought. As a woman, I feel we are biologically programmed to be receptive and sensitive to the aura of a space. This new dimension enables us to design spaces that not only perform functionally but also on an emotional level. Working with this ideology, we strive to include emotional quotient in our design and planning, giving spaces and built forms a character that speaks to the user's emotion. This language and the amazing possibilities is what fuels our passion to chase excellence in what we do. On Women's Day 2021, I would like to say that I am proud of the legacy that women architects like Zaha Hadid, Denise Scott have left behind, and looking forward to the amazing future that lies ahead for women in the field of architecture.
I have 16 years of experience as an architect. Still for me, each day, each client and each project is a new challenge, a new opportunity to outshine myself. It was my biggest dream to bring a name for myself. I didn't know how, but I had full confidence in my abilities. This positive mindset has enabled me to start up my own firm, which I single-handedly manage and run, which is Designer's Palette. So what I want to say is, if you are ready to toil hard, then sky is the only limit. No one can chase your dreams away from you. So girls out there, let grit and determination be your watchword. No sooner a day would come that everyone would say, looking at you, she believed she could, and she did. Happy Women's Day to all.
Educator, homemaker, a loving mother, daughter, daughter-in-law, wife, etc. etc. While these are some of the hats which I wear, being an architect was one that grew out of my need, because architecture has been my passion and I have grown up to become an architect always. It is a need to create a world suitable for this generation as well as future ones to come. In my experience of 17 years, I have worked on projects in the residential, commercial, educational, religious sectors, both interiors as well as architecture. As a woman, I have juggled both my career and personal life, striving to never drop the bowl in either. In my humble experience, some of my favorites have been women because they come up with a clear requirements as to their budget they want to spend on their project and the space they want for their loved ones to be designed. So they have a clear goal in their projects, and strictly adhere to what they want, and creating such beautiful spaces for them, it gives me immense pleasure and joy. And as we all know that building industry is being a male dominated sector, in that I feel architecture is the only field which is giving a feminine touch with lot of women architects emerging out. I would like to wish all my fellow women architects a very happy Women's Day, and I pray that all of you excel in your future endeavors, successfully emerge out as eminent architects. All the best. Thank you so much.
Women are the architects of their family. They are the architects of their children's life, and when they move into the social domain, it is all the more better. As an alumnus of NIT Raipur and SPA Delhi, also for practicing more than 20 years and being an academician, the most cherishing moment in my life was doing a community development plan along with my students for a remote Himalayan hamlet in Kangra district of Himachal Pradesh. The place was full of architectural treasures, and when we reached there, interacted with the community, understood their joys and sorrows, strength and weakness, we could realize that we could make a difference in their life. We decided to do a community development plan along with engagement of its citizens, and finally to convert it into a tourism plan. Also, in the entire process, we could write a small booklet on the heritage of Kali, and we could document the lives, architectural treasures, the culture, their everyday stories, and also the way people live and how they interact in public and in their houses. All our efforts culminated in the form of a heritage development plan which we submitted to the government of Himalayas. So we planned the entire tour along with our students, ourselves, starting from the hospitality, our stay, arrangement, logistics and everything. We thought we could, and finally we did. Thank you.
Every woman's success should be an inspiration to another. We are the strongest when we cheer each another. Hello everyone, this is Deepa Mane, practicing architect, landscape architect and associate professor in the Keli University. Teaching here in Keli has taught me a lot of things, from being independent and from standing up for my own self. I am wishing you a very happy Women's Day on behalf of the IIA Hubli Dharwad chapter. Women's Day should be celebrated today and every day, and the importance and significance that it has in the lives of our family members and the society. She believed, she could, and she did. Thank you.
I've always had a great interest in art and design, and an eagerness to be among those who create the changing skylines that form our cities. I have always excelled at subjects that require teamwork and problem-solving skills. I have always taken the initiative to rise to the challenge and help lead others to achieve a set goal. Every time I create a design, I consider its implications on the community, and I ensure that it is sustainable, progressive, and unique. My desire to make the world a better place for people to live in has always motivated me. My dream to design helped me believe and motivated me to achieve greater goals with every opportunity. Thank you so much.
Architecture gave its first invite to me as a very creative and imaginative field. Pursuing my career, slightly lost in the blue and grey lines, I lost grip. People said I call quits, find an alternative, a different profession, but I stuck to my path of grabbing the title of an architect. Even after several years of practice, I strived to be identified, I strived for my ideas to be heard, and I worked towards it. Today, I'm in a happy place where I collaborate with a design firm where I can put across my ideas and build them into reality. I also work for an institution where I try my best to impart the knowledge of architecture to the young budding professionals. That's my journey of academics, profession, and academician. She believed she could, and she did it.
Architecture speaks for itself. Architecture is truly trinity: beauty, strength, and functionality. This discipline has the power to translate into reality on ground. People need places to eat, live, work, and play, and we design and execute them. I am Vanita Ananturtha and completed my graduation in the year 2000 from UVC Bangalore and post-graduation from BMS College of Architecture in the year 2020, Bangalore. As an architect, my journey was truly memorable, and I have been lucky for getting an opportunity to work for a few renowned and distinguished architects. I try to understand the essence of the concepts and styles of architecture. I had a chance to work on a few government projects and various private projects ranging from residential to commercial and even competition projects, along with the site visits. Every single day I would go with great zeal of enthusiasm and with creative ideas and thoughts. I kept myself engaged with the architectural community through knowledge sharing seminars and webinars, sketching and painting. Interaction and discussions with various architects of different age groups helped me to update my knowledge in this discipline. I dream of promoting and imparting architectural education to aspiring youngsters who have the passion and enthusiasm. Each one of them sees the world differently. Presently owning a small practice, as a woman architect, I too had to face several challenges. I would like to thank my parents, my in-laws, and my professors and the entire architectural fraternity who have been part of my journey as an architect for their support and encouragement. So as the saying goes, never ever give up. We don't need to do anything more than just move forward. And as the tagline goes, she believed she could, and so she did. Thank you.
Happy Women's Day. I'm Shobha Vopatkar and I'm a landscape designer working in this profession for more than 40 years. I just want to share one incident. I was working on a TCS project in Hyderabad. Principal architect was Mario Botta, Swiss architect, and his building was totally cladded with red agra stone. So he was very particular. He didn't want any flower color in the landscape. So entire 10-acre plot has to be only green landscape. So selection was a big challenge. One more challenge was in 4 acres of the plot, there were big boulders as big as 20-25 feet tall, and it was full mountain of boulders, and they wanted all the pockets to be green. But the surveyor also could not give me the actual plan because it was impossible. So I told them that I'll work on the site. I will just put the plans because you can't give the plan. So you have to work at site and guide the people what to plant where. So I had to do rock climbing every day for 10 days, and then we completed that patch also. Then there was one more challenge. One big 10-feet boulder was lying near the building entrance. So he wanted a water cascade from that boulder. So without disturbing that boulder, we had to construct a pond around it, and it was watertight, and then make a through hole in the rock and fix the pump and make a water cascade out of that. So we achieved all the challenges and I'm so happy. So dream, believe, and you can complete the project. Thank you.
Happy Women's Day wishes to you all, and thanks for the opportunity to share my experience here. Most of us know that Women's Day is celebrated on 8th March. This day is dedicated to women's right to vote in Germany in the year 1918 and subsequently celebrated in all countries as International Women's Day. My heartfelt gratitude to all the women who have strived and fought for our rights and freedom for so many centuries. In fact, this is an ongoing endeavor for the betterment of the future generations as well. I am Anupama Bhupalam, graduated from Bangalore University more than 2 decades ago. In my first job interview, I was told by the owner of the firm that I have to work for free for a year, and after evaluating my performance for a year, I might be eligible for rupees 500 stipend each month. Now this was in the year 1999. I thought to myself, is this what I'm going to get for burning the midnight oil for so many years? I'm sure you can all relate to this. We tend to be more creative during the wee hours, don't we? Thanks to that gentleman for planting that thought in my head to start my own venture someday. And at that juncture, I did not even know the spelling of the word entrepreneur. After 3 to 4 years of experience in the corporate interior field, I took a daring decision and started the entrepreneurial journey with just an investment of ₹5,000. Quickly understood the market potential and could see success in the corporate furniture segment. Today, as a co-founder and CEO of Space Management India Private Limited, I'm happy to share that the company will reach an important milestone of 100 crores shortly. Thanks to all who have contributed to me in this journey. Finally, would like to make a mention. She believed, she could, and so she did. Thank you.
Conscious Bangalore is actually a local chapter of the International Conscious Cities movement, which is housed at the Center for Conscious Design. Well, you would ask, what is conscious design? Conscious design is an empathic, equitable and enactive process of making spaces that are aware and responsive to the needs and aspirations of people. Well, most of the work we do deals with communicating and negotiating and expressing and articulating what people really want from a space, experientially speaking, what they need.
For example, at our local chapter, what we try to do is, what I try to do, and my work predominantly deals with, is that using these conscious design methods, we make sure that the community is involved in the process in a very meaningful way. And we also make sure that the tools that we provide to them is understood by them and that they can use it to solve their own problems.
Right. So this way what we try to do is reduce the distance between the space participants, people who are going to inhabit the space, and the decision makers and designers who build the space and shape our cities. So most of our work deals with empathizing with people and figuring out a way to connect their aspirations to science, because science provides us with a common ground so that we can interpret the needs of people in a way that makes sense to them and makes sense to the people who create spaces and construct them. So this is conscious design. That's what we do. And we are building conscious cities. And we love it. Thanks.
Many people come to me and ask why you are proud of being an architect. I smile and reply to them. The doctor's income increases with the increase of the illness, disease. Lawyer's income increase with the increase of the crime and litigations, whereas architect income increase with the increase of the prosperity of the people and nation. Moreover, it is such a beautiful profession where an architect gives a life to the lines, that means from the design concept to the execution level. And there will be so many stories to share with the friends and the families. You take a pride moment that you worked on this project and you were a part of this project. I completely accept this tagline. She believed she could, and so she did it. Thank you.
After being into architecture profession for 10 years, I realized the advantage of being a woman who have that inherent capacity to foster future generation. This made me to take up teaching along with profession. Since then, I was able to connect to students, motivate, encourage and foster them as budding architects who can contribute to society through architecture. It has been a tremendous sense of being a woman, not only as homemaker but also as an architect and designer. She believed she could and she did.
I am going to share about a project which called for a balance between profession and emotion. Remodeling of ancestral property. A century-old structure built out of laterite and wood. The design had to be contemporary to meet the current requirement of the family, and equally important was conservation of reusable material from the older structure. This being the background, who else can be a better choice than a woman architect? My vision was driven by a happy moment spent in the newly designed space, nevertheless with the rider of reusing the material and execution with the cost control. My key learnings from this project are: number 1, remodeling is more expensive and cost control is imperative. Number 2, using the new available green product to complement with the old material. Number 3, no deviation from the original concept at any stage. And the result was phenomenal. She believed she could, and so she did. Thank you.
I am an architect and a visual designer. I believe architects are in a unique position where we can empathize with people's lives, but also do deep knowledge work where we understand the ground realities and hence bring to fruition visions for the future. And I think it's extremely important that we be an active part of the community and communicate the ideas that we have, the intentions that come through. At Conscious Bengaluru, we try to make sure that complex ideas are expressed in a simple manner, in an engaging, fun, accessible way. We hope to be even more dynamically involved in city making as we progress. We're still a young company, a young movement, so we're doing small projects, but we hope to do much more and be of service to the community. We're a young movement started by 3 girls, 3 women in the city. As the tagline goes, she believed she could, and so she did.
I'm a practicing architect since 26 years, into academics for quite some time now. My most memorable experience of being a woman architect was during my working days in 1999 in Dubai, wherein I was working in Taki Decor and my office was located in industrial area. Back then, industrial areas were quite isolated and little scary to work with. Many people didn't recommended me to not join, but it was a good opportunity, wherein there was a huge workshop associated with the office with 60+ male working, with me only female heading the Taki Decor. There were a set of people who were kind of taking special care of me being a female staff, a single female staff. There was a kind of a risk and a scare associated with it. But for me, risk is kind of exciting. It's about progress. It's about expression. Women, I believe, are natural risk takers, but that also pragmatizes. It's a perfect combination for a leadership. Now it's time for us to reclaim, let's make sure we do it our ways, with exploring fresh new ideas, with less predictable risk, working with less predictable ways. So she believed she could, and she did it. Thank you.
Now 19 years of independent practice, mother of a lovely 17-year-old daughter and a single parent, and I have a house and an office in the same building, owing to the multitasking which I think a lot of women relate to. So the most memorable moment, yeah, apart from seeing the the high of seeing this actual space creation or architectural creation come up, I would really say that my most memorable moments happen to be actually via this exploratory practice called MapB, which I had started in 2009, which was actually about using temporary space gestures to create to the different kind of communities. So I wanted to see how the role of architecture can be extended beyond the permanent space making, and it was also my desire to see how I can connect to the community and offer this lovely village called Sultanpet, named after Tipu Sultan, where there is a beautiful little it's actually full of a lot of historic structures, and I had actually had the opportunity to design 3 houses for friends, who wanted to have a holiday home. So I got associated with this village, and every time I would pass by this village, there was something very enchanting about this place, and it had this beautiful stepwell, which is called Kalyani in Karnataka. It's from the youth of the village saying, look, now why don't you come? And we have started celebrating. So they got the Kalyani cleaned up, and they started celebrating this local festival called Deepotsava, and they had lit the whole Kalyani up with all of its steps with 1,000 lamps, and it was so amazing to see that sense of ownership that they took. So yeah, small gestures make a big difference, and that really will remain in my memory as one of my most memorable events. And yes, what's that line? She believed she could, and so she did it.
I would like to quote Winston Churchill, who once said, "We shape our buildings, therefore they shape us." I decided to study architecture because I saw it as integrating so many things I loved: travel, cities, spaces, critical thinking. I loved the creative process and the spirit of making and specializing ideas that could contribute to people's lives and experiences, and how design influences lifestyle. At this point in time, I'm enjoying the best of both worlds, that is architecture practice and teaching. I spend substantial amount of time at the design venue and the design club, where I get to interact with young minds, children in the age group of 10 to 18, and help them fall in love with the problem-solving power of design. Interacting with children resembles a game of frisbee in which we invite children to catch ideas and pass on the creative juices.
Passion-driven architect practicing since early 2000, I'm architect Geeta, principal architect of my Bangalore-based firm Flora Avenue Consultancy. With more than 180 significant projects handled by us, from auditoriums, Swagraha rated flight center building for HAL, villas, budgeted homes, industries and institutions, I personally feel gender per se has got nothing or anything to do with architecture at all. But how the world sees women architects and the opportunities we get makes that difference. Equipping ourselves with a panoramic vision builds us in a holistic way. Architecture, that is art and technology, both creative and technical, translated as being sensitively sensible, and that is what I have been. Challenges were a lot many all the way, but the fact remains I did not have the time to think about them. Lost no focus ever on the goal that I had set for myself, finding solutions and moving on, absolutely giving no excuses for myself for non-performance. Architectural designing in sync with allied engineering services and accomplishing them all with efficient organizing skills, planning, management and teamwork, prioritizing various activities in a PMC role have all helped me weave a practice that satisfies me and my clients. Though covered in the media, never once compared myself with anyone, I challenged myself to better my best in every project, which fine-tuned my practice, learning and unlearning all the way. Being straightforward and never once deterred from calling a spade a spade. I would like to conclude, nothing is second to hard work. Women are late bloomers but not failures. Throw stones at us and we will build a castle out of it for sure. Stay equipped, focused and with an attitude of never say ever die. I believed I could and so did I achieve. Thank you.
So started as an accidental architect, my career. Joined architecture thinking that it's fun. It's like, writing exams with music on. But yeah, there was some bit of cribbing that I'm doing 5 years course as compared to my friends who finished their engineering in 4 years. But now when I think back, I really enjoy not only those 5 years but the entire journey. I feel that I achieved a lot. Now I'm heading a planning department in Bangalore. And in this entire 5 years or in my journey, I've learned there's nothing that an architect can't do. Today I solve some mathematical problems. I understand building science, building physics. So it's only that passion which you need to have. You can do anything and you can achieve anything. Happy Women's Day to all.
I would like to share with you all why do we celebrate March 8 as a Women's Day. On 8th of March 1857, women workers in New York went on strike to protest against injustice done to them just because they were women workers. This was the first ever strike by women in the world. However, it was suppressed forcefully. Later, two women leaders of German Communist Party, Clara Klein and Rosa Luxemburg, raised their voice against injustice to women. They organized and held the first International Women Conference on 17th of August 1907. 58 delegates from 15 countries attended this conference. India was represented by Madam Kama. The word sisterhood was uttered for the first time in this conference. The second international conference happened in Copenhagen in 1910. Clara and Rosa appealed that all women in the world should observe Women's Day. In memory of world's first strike by women, the day 8 March was decided as a symbol of unity and movement of women. We modern women must remain grateful to them and pay our respectful homage by remembering them. Happy Women's Day again, and thank you.
Happy Women's Day to all of you. She believed she could and she did it. Thank you.